Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we are going to be finding out what happens if Arthur meets Bigfoot, the lonely giant, instead of John Marston, and also discovering who Bigfoot really is in Red Dead Redemption 2. So this is a video I did with John Marston a couple of months ago, but I never got to it as Arthur Morgan because the prerequisite is to find 30 animals. And on my save about 3 months ago, I never found 30 animals quite yet, but I did on John Marston's save. However, now that we're a couple months later and I have altered my saves quite a bit, I have one as Arthur Morgan with 30 animals. So quickly to recap, in case you guys want to find Bigfoot for yourself, well, number one, you need to find 30 animals, and then number two, you need to go to the Wapiti Indian Reservation. And after you cross over this bridge, you'll notice this mysterious flock of birds that seem to be flying in a particular direction together. Like, it's almost impossible to miss. It's like really obvious that it's that distinct bird of groups. So basically what you have to do is follow this group of birds. They're going to take you on about a 2-minute horse ride, and you'll know you're getting close to the Lonely Giant's location when you find this like really pretty field of sort of like orange and red flowers. So you'll know you're getting close. And then once you get towards the end, you will be at the giant's hideout and you will have this first conversation with him.
Hello there, friend. How are you? I'm rather lonely. You see, I'm too big. I haven't got any friends because I'm too big.
Is that so?
Yes. Yes, it is so. That's sort of why I said it. That and because I was lonely and wanted to talk. Maybe we could be friends. I've always wanted a real friend. Someone to discuss the human condition with, you know?
I don't know much about that.
Neither do I. Be well, friend. Be well.
Okay, so as you heard there, that was completely different than the conversation he has with John. There's some conversations that stranger characters and stranger side missions have with Arthur and John where the dialogue is exactly the same. Well, in this case, it's completely different. I'm not sure why, but I do think that is really, really cool. Now, in case you guys are wondering where this location is, it's just to the right of this little shack called Farewell Shanty. It's also to the west of the loft and to the east of the Witch's Cauldron. And remember, you have to go to that location first at the Indian reservation before you can actually get to the giant's hideout. So that is the first encounter that you can have with him. Now, just like last time, I was curious to know who the giant was because all you can do is hear this voice coming from this rock. It looks like there's like a little stage up there and the rock maybe is a face. But once again, I wanted to find out who this individual was or if we could find Bigfoot. So what I was trying to do was actually get up onto his little hideout up there, and I was trying to sort of like run up. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, the game does not let you get up here. Like, they don't want you to get up onto this little cliff. You can't jump up there. You can't vault up there. So you sort of have to glitch your way on there. Well, as I was trying this, something very mysterious happened. I ended up falling through the world. And usually when this happens, you like either die or instantly get spawned up. When I say that I was falling through the world for the like 3 minutes, I was falling for like 3 straight minutes. It was horrifying. I didn't know if I was ever going to get back up. I mean, you guys can see I'm sort of like fast forwarding the footage right here. I was trying to pull out sticks of dynamite. I was trying to, shoot a gun maybe to get wanted. I was trying anything and everything to get out of this like under the map purgatory mode. It was insane. So I've never had this happen to me before. I don't know what I did. I slipped between the rocks or something occurred. All I know is that is incredibly terrifying. So that is what happened when I tried to get up there. But again, we still had another encounter to have with our friend the giant. However, before we have that second encounter with our friend the giant, I was not done. I wanted to get up into this hideout to see if anyone was there when you visited as Arthur. So this time I was able to get up and I went behind the rocks, and sure enough, no one is there. So even though this little hideout back here exists, no one is actually back here. There's not an NPC. There's not Bigfoot. There's no one of the sorts. Now, I tried a pretty dangerous experiment with this. I had a couple sticks of dynamite, so I ended up placing them on the ground, and then I ignited them while I was still inside, but I managed to escape outside of the rock, and nothing happened. Like, the rocks didn't explode. It didn't reveal anything. We'll try some more experiments later on, and trust me, they'll be worth it. But placing dynamite down inside of that little cave didn't ultimately end up doing anything. If you shoot at the rocks themselves, it doesn't do anything. Bigfoot doesn't yell at you or come out or reveal himself. So that's the first encounter and the first couple of experiments that I did. You can then return 3 days later and you can have another encounter with Bigfoot the Giant. And this is what he has to say.
Nice to see you again.
And you?
How have you been?
Okay, I suppose.
That's good. I've been lonely. Very lonely. I'm faced with a stark and unpleasant choice. Be lonely or get murdered. Not very exciting as it goes.
Huh. I suppose pick lonely?
Did you miss me?
I suppose so.
Yes, I missed you too. I've been quite lonely out here. One day, I long to have a wife. But women can be so cruel. Nobody wants large children. They eat too much. It's very sad.
Okay, so once again, a very interesting conversation. It really does make me wonder, like, who Bigfoot, who the Lonely Giant is. They seem very friendly, but also pretty weird at the same time. But then again, he's Bigfoot and a giant and lonely, so maybe you would expect him to be weird. I'm really not too sure. So that is what happens if Arthur decides to visit the Lonely Giant Bigfoot. Those are the encounters that he will have, at least the audio cues. However, I told you guys, I was not done with the experiments. Now, some of you guys make fun of me because I do crazy, ridiculous stuff with these experiments. Like, I'll put dynamite on places, I'll throw fire bottles at things. A lot of you guys are like, Mr. Boss, that's never going to do anything. Well, you won't find out unless you try. So I was thinking to myself, what the heck? Let's throw some fire bottles up there at the rock. You know, what's the worst thing that can happen? And as I was throwing the fire bottles, this happened. Okay, did you hear that? And did you see the mark on the mini-map? There is now an X up on the giant's hideout. Apparently, we lit someone on fire. Is that Bigfoot, or is it just an NPC that found his way in the rock? That is crazy. I had no idea something like that would occur. So I wanted to get back up onto the giant's hideout. I went inside. I didn't find anyone that was lit on fire. So I was trying to get as close to the X on the minimap as possible, but I just simply couldn't see anything. So I was getting kind of frustrated. And then when I went on the outside, I noticed I had the option to pick up and loot a stranger. How weird is that? So I wanted to pick up this stranger. I wanted to see if I could like get the body of Bigfoot. But as I picked them up, they were literally invisible. This is so weird. What is going on here? So I literally picked up an invisible body. That's kind of strange. I dropped them on the ground. They were invisible. When I decided to loot them, I got absolutely nothing out of it. In fact, the only thing that was visible was their hat. That is strange. And it was burnt to a crisp. So I can only imagine this guy's body over here would have been burnt to a crisp as well. So after that, I decided to pick him up again. And I mean, how strange is that? Arthur is like literally carrying this invisible empty body. So I have a couple theories as to what this is. The first theory is that this is the NPC that's been given the voice of Bigfoot. For those of you guys that don't know, whenever someone makes an appearance, but they aren't visible, think like Josiah Trelawney's secret house in Saint Denis. What Rockstar will do, instead of putting that physical character there, they'll just put a random NPC and attach a voice to it. So I think that's what happened here, or this is the character model for Bigfoot. And because Rockstar maybe didn't want people finding literally Bigfoot, or they didn't want to have to make a character model for Bigfoot, they just made him invisible. And that's why when you try and lift him up, that's what's happening. So this is incredibly strange. If you guys feel like you have any idea on what the heck just happened here, please let me know in the comments down below. This is the first time I have experienced this. I think this is the first time anyone has experienced this. So if you feel like you have a solution to what the heck happened at Bigfoot's hideout, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. With out the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.